Make America Great Again. Donald Trump's simple slogan was a stroke of genius. In 4 words, it conjures both a past to be proud of and a future just as good. It doesn't say that no change is needed, it just predicts that the change will be good for us all. He knew that the slogan would be pronounced as an acronym. MAGA. Sounds like mega, doesn't it? It sounds big and important. It sounds attractive like magnetic, generous like magnanimous, energetic like magneto, and it sounds glorious like magnificent. On the other hand, Joe Biden, with the tin ear for symbolism shared by most of today's Democrats, came up with a slogan that makes no claim of glory, past or future. Build back better. It implies that the past is nothing to be proud of and that currently our country is in ruin and needs to be rebuilt. And that the best we'll be able to do is a slight improvement over the lousy past and the lousy present. Hey, it won't be great, but it'll be, better. I don't want to be mean, but the speech impediment Joe Biden suffers from seems to have shaped him. The inability to get a word out projects indecision, however unfairly. And if you do try to pronounce Build Back Better as an acronym, it will actually make you sound like a stutterer. Buh, buh, buh. Doing big things fearlessly is built right into Trump. Maybe being named Trump set the tone for his habit of going to competition one better. That's what it means to trump somebody. And he embraced his campaign slogan so completely that it sort of became his middle name, Donald MAGA Trump. Sounds a lot better than Joe Biden, but I don't want to be mean. As our relations with both China and Russia deteriorate, Joe has decided to cut the military budget and leave Afghanistan without conditions. He should just go ahead and change his slogan from "ba" to MAWA, Make America Weak Again. MAWA. One of the primary jobs of a president is to manage the perceptions that other countries have of us, to tell our story with symbolism that won't get lost in translation. As anybody who ever grew up in a rough neighborhood knows, the bad guys are not philosophers, but they have plenty of animal cunning. Predators know prey when they see it, and they know when they're outmatched. The baddest wolf in the forest hauls ass when a grizzly bear shows up. Donald Trump understood that the hot spots in the Islamic world were the result of tribal leaders expanding to fill a power vacuum. He understood that the way to contain any of these warlords was to constantly remind them that their power was local, that out there beyond the horizon there was a tough-as-nails mega tribe that could rain hell on them at a moment's notice. In other words, that there was no power vacuum internationally. But Biden really sucks at understanding the bad guys. His bright idea is to get us out of Afghanistan by, wait for it, September 11, 2021. In his somewhat cloudy mind, I guess he knows that there's an inspiring symbolism to be had by lining up our withdrawal with the 20th anniversary of bin Laden's attacks. But he seems not to know what the symbolism means or who it will inspire. So I'll tell him. It will inspire radical Islamists all over the world. And what it will mean to them is that they actually did break our will. 2 decades after they bombed us with planes full of our own people, America's greatest booster since Reagan was attacked, thwarted, and ultimately removed with a highly coordinated propaganda effort within our own borders. In the 2 decades since 9/11, we have become a country divided over everything from a virus to the insane notion that white supremacy is a real issue. The man who never stopped talking about our greatness was punished for that every minute of every day by the party who sees nothing but our flaws. Kind of sounds like a win for bin Laden, doesn't it? Withdrawing from Afghanistan on the anniversary of the worst attack on our own soil in modern history will only glorify that attack throughout the Muslim world. Islamists will see it as a straight-up day of celebration and an invitation to try again. Oh, look, to commemorate our glorious attack on American Devil, President Biden giving us our favorite thing, a power vacuum. Thank you, Joe. Death to America. Listen, The primary reason that I oppose the left is because in their quest to perfect human society, they have made a pact with each other to deny human nature. Those who threaten us around the world are not gender fluid 20-year-olds obsessed with social justice. They are people who either want what we have or want to destroy what we have. Whether we're being attacked by bombers or hackers or simply having our borders overrun by desperate people lured to the historic promise of America, we need to project strength and at least some form of national unity. Joe Biden has always been known to show occasional moments of tough guy resolve. He needs to stop brown-nosing the party who gave him the job he's always wanted and stop defining himself as the anti-Trump, because being anti-strength and anti-greatness is no way to do that job. As I finished writing this, I heard that Walter Mondale had died. I hope that his passing reminds us all of a time when politicians could share a joke as he could with Ronald Reagan. Of a time when we understood that the natural conflict of ideas ought never become petty or hateful, ought never interfere with a shared commitment to Americanism. As it stands now, our president is signaling to the world that we are hopelessly divided and unable even to enforce our borders. Minutes after the Derek Chauvin verdict came in, he addressed the world like this.
It was a murder in the full light of day, and it ripped the blinders off for the whole world to see. The systemic racism the Vice President just referred to. The systemic racism is a stain on our nation's soul. The knee on the neck of justice for Black Americans. Profound fear and trauma. The pain, the exhaustion that Black and brown Americans experience every single day.
Could our enemies ask for more? I'm not ready to concede leadership of the world to communist China. I don't believe that we've seen the last American century. I'm not in denial. I know that elections have consequences. And from where I stand, the American left has been chipping away at our national sense of self for decades. But for me, the job in front of us is still the same. Make America great again.
I recall yet that President Kennedy had to go for days on end with very little sleep during the Cuba Missile Crisis. Is there any doubt in your mind that you would be able to function in such circumstances?
Not at all, Mr. Truitt, and I want you to know that also I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and then click the little bell to get notifications.